Recall this moment in film Red. Jafar, pause right here. When Uta sings her namesake song for Ta Musica, Norse runes appear. Why? Why is that the case? This is the only time in the entire movie when anything Norse, anything Nordic appears, and it's to summon a demon king from another plane of existence. Now, the beginning of her song from Japanese to English says this: "My heart is the rain and I'm wondering, wishes and tears that never dry up. Unleash the words that weave the curse." These Norse runes are Elder Futhark, a runic alphabet that even precedes Younger Futhark, which is the language of the Vikings. And considering just how long time spans are for giants, and the country clearly associated with Vikings and Nordic themes and Norse mythology the most is Elbaf. And I've been wondering for a very long time, again, why the Norse runes? Why are Elbafian ties connected with summoning the demon Ta Musica? And keep in mind that Elder Futhark is not the same as Younger Futhark, which is the Nordic Viking language, but keep in mind that the giants themselves have tremendously long lifespans. So it makes more sense for them to be associated with Elder Futhark rather than Younger Futhark. So if this topic interests you, because for me, ever since watching film Red 5 times, not allegedly because I do enjoy film Red that much, then let me know in the comment section down below and we'll do more of these sort of videos because I do want to get my theory game and my power scaling video content out there in spades. And on the way down too, make sure you tap that like button, baby, yeah. Now, I think there is a very good case to make that the Demon King Ta Musica was first created / has ties to the giants of Elbaf, or giants in general, or at the very least, humans that were at one point in time associated with giants. Think about this. We know that Elbaf has a dark history since we found out in the latest chapter 1137 that Elbaf giants, at least some of them, see themselves as different from non-Elbafian giants. Hyrudin's mom was not allowed to be queen of the nation because of this discrimination. Now, when this started, we don't know exactly, but in giant years, again, they have way longer lifespans than human beings. So this could have been going on for at least hundreds, if not thousands of years since they lived for so long. And this can provide the foundation to create a demon from a bygone era, since this demon is from ancient times, according to Robin. Now, she didn't read the entire mural on the wall during the film because of the fight that was going on, and then G-Man and Frankie do a crazy combo, but in the process, it winds up destroying the mural on the wall. But Ta Musica was created from the negative emotions of men: loneliness, sadness, the quote-unquote shadow that falls on the soul. And when you consider the past timelines of Elbaf, there are plenty of opportunities in the past where this could have happened. Like, for example, during the ancient giant era, which was known as the era of war, where countless folks died. And that was also revealed in the latest chapter One Piece. When you continue to translate Uta's namesake song for Ta Musica, there are lines that say, "That arrogant and disrespectful lament, forget the sorrow that has no inertia. Let's put an end to this era of chaos. Just go ahead and do it, blah, blah, blah." Literally, unironically, blah, blah, blah. And then as you read the song, you get more and more sense of the idea of the sorrow of the people, where there was a tremendous amount of instability in the world, whether through war, whether through famine, whether through natural disasters, something of that sort. And then as a process, a lot of folks hated the world, resented the world, and even though they wanted freedom, you see lines like "Rage gather, sing the song of destruction." Destruction that many giants to this day even understand is within the paradigm of what's possible for the future, considering how someone like Loki is trying to be a harbinger of destruction, and Loki does have his supporters on Elbaf. So given all these factors, on top of the Norse runes that again are used to summon Ta Musica, it's more and more likely that the origins of Ta Musica stem from giants, potentially ancient giants, or at the bare minimum, humans that are associated with giants in some way. Furthermore, after the world government came to power, we know that giants were captured as slaves. And you can see in chapter 501 how high their prices are. You have 50 million for the male giants, and then you have 10 million for the female giants. So let's say, for example, if this being was created after the Void Century, it could be because of giants that lived in an era where they were being hunted down and turned into slaves for the people on high in the Holy Land. And in a similar way to how some slaves prayed for the sun god's salvation, many others probably cursed their enemies, owners, and had very dark shadows looming over their soul. You can argue in some sense that this is an unnatural status for someone's soul to be in, like a debuff. But in many video games, you'll see how even though a character is debuffed, you can do certain unique actions because you're in that debuff state. And then here, we can slide in the famous lines from Dr. Vegapunk in chapter 1069 when he talks about the creation of devil fruits. The devil fruit creation process and the devil creation process that we find in the movie have very similar beginnings. Now again, it's only his theory, but if the fruit powers exist in a different dimension that someone dreamed up by somebody else before them, according to Vegapunk, and then the process of creating a demon Ta Musica is literally the manifestation of emotions of loneliness, sadness, the shadows that fall the souls, then they have potentially the same point of origin or similar points of origins, where it could be another plane of existence that is connected to the negative emotions, just how another plane of existence ties to the devil fruits. And remember that folks from Elbaf are very superstitious. Roto, in the last chapter, saying that the area is untouched for ages, and he himself believing that vengeful spirits are haunting the area. Big Mom being referred to as a god of chaos during her flashback, and then that same flashback, Mother Caramel making the sun from the fire, and then the giants calling that sun a god. So there are many notations to the superstition of the giants. And then so in the past, if humans or giants or a mix of both, if folks of the past were at an extreme point because of the era of war or other factors like slavery during the Void Century, we know that the ancient weapons themselves were being used, and as a result, the landscape across the entire world dramatically changed. And so there are so many ways in so many eras to have people literally go through the worst of it. And as a result, people, giants, maybe even ancient giants, could have tried to summon a demon of some kind. Let's say what we see in episode 421 when the devil worshippers tried to summon old Saint Nick, but instead they got Brooke. Yeah, so imagine that, but a genuine summoning for a genuine demon that they knew how to do back in the day, but over the course of time that knowledge was lost, very likely due to the Void Century. And I think also they had probably a better understanding of using the energy around them. They had better technology at that point in time too. There's even mentions in that ancient kingdom, that super kingdom, that they had a better power source than what the Vegapunks can do now, and they have the Mother Flame. So at this point in time, probably this infinite energy source that is mentioned by Lilith and Shaka, the undying or eternal flames are the exact words of Lilith. The capabilities of the people back in ancient times were superior than the people of the modern era. And their methodology seems to be through song and dance, once again showing the mural. Think of, let's say, Dory and Brogy when they were dancing to Luffy's rhythm in chapter 1118, but it's a hardcore dance pit. And what's even more important is the main conduit that was probably used to summon that demon from times ago, and that is the Sing Sing Devil Fruit. The Sing Sing ability was probably used as a base to contact the other side. We know for a fact that fruits can do this because we do see this with Brook. Brook literally died, went to the netherworld, and then at some point in time his soul returned from the netherworld to his skeletal body. Even things like Blue Nose Door ability or Brulee's Mirror ability. These are also other alternate planes of reality that exist made by the devil fruits. Even Luffy, even Monkey D. Luffy himself, confirmed by Achiro Oda in his Q&A a few months ago, even he stated that when Luffy makes his goggles or his baseball gear, he is he's yoinking these things from another plane of existence, his own imagination, his emotions, his creativity made manifest by his abilities. And the same thing goes for the creation of the demon Ta Musica, and the people best suited for that would be, in this case, the giants of Elbaf, but arguably giants in general. These things are not out of the question, particularly when we see that dark forces are in Elbaf now, where we even see Emu's magical circle in the castle that is supposed to be haunted, quote unquote, haunted. And the root cause of this is likely giants that have yet to reveal who they really are as rats, as evildoers, but that could be revealed in the future. And the idea of the sun god being a savior god or a destroyer god also validates the idea of the dark supernatural elements existing, since again there are some giants that do back the idea of him being a destroyer rather than a savior. And we could find out absolutely more details about this in the Harley religious text that we haven't gotten to yet. I doubt they would reveal, let's say, something like Tot Musica, but the details, the actual minutia of the Harley religious texts that are right now in debate could have misinterpretations of what the Nika really is, because there's a chance here that the destroyer part of that Nika aspect may not even involve the sun god Nika, but other demonic demon lord sort of forces. Or another way of, let's say, viewing it, rather than demon and demonic and nasty Beelzebub and Baal, another way of looking at it could be, yeah, deity related, but bad natured. Not necessarily evil, but bad natured. In the lyrics of the song for Tot Musica, they explain how, again, they want freedom, but at the same time, they want destruction. So the folks at that point in time wanted to escape the current era, maybe the era of war among the ancient giants, by total annihilation of everything. That's how they would attain their freedom. And you can see in the movie, for Uta, the human body isn't important, but it's rather the human soul. It doesn't matter if your body is dead and wasted away, as long as your soul is happy in the Sing Sing world. So you can argue from that sense that Tot Musica is not an evil entity, but rather a bad nature entity, but it still is an entity that is going to grant the wishes of the people that want annihilation, because that annihilation then grants them that freedom. And then let's say in the reverse sense, the sun god would be an opposing entity that would be a good nature entity that would actually grant freedom to the body physically via saving and changing in a universally accepted positive way. And these future elements of the story to come, honest to God, they were probably hinted at in Film Red, because the Film Red movie has a lot of depth, a lot more depth than the average One Piece fan, I think, realizes. Hence why I really wanted to do this video, on top of my sheer insatiable curiosity as to why Uta was singing in Norse runes when she summoned a demon lord. We've seen in the story, song and dance be used in wholesome and cope ways. We saw it with the Buccaneers and Kuma's flashback. We see it with Luffy and the Nika and the giants. Even Zunisha wanted to twerk it up when he heard the drums of liberation. What about the drums of destruction? The drums of destruction, if it has any hints, if it has any roots as to why they exist, we gotta point the arrow at Film Red. But let me know your stance on the subject matter at hand. If you enjoy your boys' video content, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell to join the notification squad. I'm gonna catch you guys and gals on the flip side.
See you. Bye bye.